Okay, so in this video, I'll be going over how I helped an agency owner add 500 followers and gain 7 inbound leads in just 35 days on Twitter by ghostwriting his content for him. So, in case you don't know me, I'm Adibola and I've been ghostwriting for founders, agency owners, and coaches for close to 2 years now and helped them build multiple personal brands. I'm currently running a ghostwriting agency and at the moment we're working with about 10 clients. So in this video, I'll be sharing how we've helped one of our clients grow a dead Twitter account from 190 to 700 plus followers in under 35 days while gaining 7 qualified inbound leads. So now let's get into it quickly. So, just for context, this client runs a B2B cold email lead generation agency and has 3 to 5 client case studies. And that's ideally the kind of person I like to work with. You must have testimonials, you must have case studies showing that you're actually good at what you do, which makes it a lot easier to generate leads, to create content, ideas, all of it. So, before working with me, he was barely posting content. I mean, he went more than 8 months without posting a single tweet. And then he came back, wrote tweets consistently for about 8 days, and then he stopped again. So I've seen this happen many times across, like when I'm pitching my service, of course. So I see this across many people. They're struggling to post content every single day. Maybe they post 2 times a week, and then it goes for a week, or they post 3 times a week when they're supposed to be posting 7 times a week. They're just not getting the result they ought to get, and that's for one of the same reasons this same client has was unable to create time to build his personal brand. I think he mentioned he was working with 12 to 15 clients, which I know is a whole lot of work, and he couldn't create time to build his own personal brand. And one more thing was that he was struggling to find his voice. So this was one big reason he couldn't come up with content ideas consistently. He didn't know how to structure the whole thing. He didn't know uh, what exactly he wanted to stand for, what he was exactly wanted to start against in his business, and how he wanted people to perceive him. And these were all the things we were able to fix for him and used to help him grow his personal brand, which is going really well now, and he really enjoys the growth so far. So let's get into it. So he wanted to become an author in his niche, and he accepted he wouldn't be able to do this by himself, and that's where my ghostwriting service became relevant to him. So, like I said earlier, he was barely posting, he was struggling to find his voice, and he couldn't create time to do this himself, but he wanted to become an authority in his niche. So, my ghostwriting service was just the most relevant thing to him to look into. So, now let's go over how we worked together, the steps we took, and how we were able to deliver the best result for this cold milk B2B lead generation agency owner. So the first thing we do whenever I'm working with any client or whenever we want to onboard any client, the first thing I do is get them on an interview because the whole goal of ghostwriting is to write content from their voice. Is to write content without anyone realizing they're using a ghostwriter. So the whole point of this interview is to get to know their experiences, to get to know their stories, to get to know their beliefs, every single thing they think. So we had an interview where I asked about his goals, his story, and collected all relevant resources containing his client case studies, his offer, his unique selling proposition, how he delivers results for his client. Like I asked a ton of questions. So in the first interview, it goes like 20 questions, which takes about an hour. So we get as much as possible context for the first week of content. And for the second week of content, something similar, but then it reduces. It reduces. So you just have to send maybe a couple voice notes talking about some specific topics or some specific ideas that I got while looking into the whole content strategy as a whole. So this is very important for any ghostwriter that will be working with you. You have to share your story, every single thing about you, so they can capture your voice, so they can write content in alignment with who you are and what you do and attract the best kind of people as your audience. So with these things I collected from him, his story, his background, his case studies, his offer, every single thing, I was able to figure out what sets him apart from other agency owners and the best way to build his audience and brand that will make him seen as an authority in his niche. Since that's his goal, that's what he's looking to get from building his audience. So, unlike other ghostwriters, I didn't start out posting generic content. 90% of the followers came from posting extremely niche content, sharing his unique ideas and how he delivers results for his client. Being honest, I've done this in the past. When there's a dead account, when there's an account that's not been posting for a long time, the first thing or the first thought is to post generic content, top of funnel content to attract a ton of people and get a ton of engagement to revive the account. But one thing I realized over time is that those kind of content attract the wrong people. Okay, so it's good for the early boost, but then attract the wrong people. But so if there's another way where you can post extremely niche content that can make you an authority in the niche you are in by posting unique ideas, sharing how you deliver results for your clients, and it will still get decent engagement, get you leads, then why post generic content? So it's no longer made sense to me. That's why I no longer post generic content for my client. I post extremely niche content that still gets a lot of engagement, positions them as an authority in their niche, which attracts other people who they want to see, including their target audience or people who are maybe below them. That if they are coaching, if they intend to sell a coaching program in future. So that's why we post extremely niche content. We make them an authority in the niche. But when it's generic content, you're literally attracting everybody and you stand for nothing. So that's why we go for niche content every single time. So what I then did was research best performing content of people in his niche, because this is hard. It's hard to get a very niche content speaking to a small demographic of people to get decent engagement and gain a lot of followers from it. So what I did was look into his competitor, look into people he looks up to, people in his niche, coding maybe to be lead gen, and look into the best performing content of people in his niche. What kind of content gets a lot of eyeball? What kind of content did they say got them a lot of leads? So I researched for all of this, got as many as possible, figured why they worked and how they can be replicated for this client. Then I created similar posts for this client, but this time using his own experiences. I wish I could show a quick example of how this works, but I would have to review the client. So what we're basically doing here is research best performing content of people in his niche, figure out why they worked. Maybe the hook is very good, or the body is sharing a unique idea. Like we go into every single depth, understanding why this content performed really well, and then without reinventing the wheel, I just have to create similar posts, but this time using the agency owner's experiences. So if the performing content we found was a case study on a client, we just looked into the structure, the hook, and all that, but then we replace it with the results of the clients we are working with. So we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We just have to use what's already working. So this is one of the strategies we use that predictably gets results for our client. So let me get into the next thing of so we posted 10 out of them, and not all 10 of them performed. Only three performed. Only three performed really well. Some got us over 20 followers, one got us over 50 followers, and I think the last one was did pretty well, did over 100 followers. So what I then did was use those three best performers that we found, turned each of them into one long form content, one post to build anticipation for a lead magnet, and then the lead magnet post. And being honest, this was what brought about 90% of the followers. I mean, I said we gained over 500 followers within 35 days. This was what made it possible. And then from there on, what's going to happen is that we're just going to keep testing new ideas, checking his own unique ideas, replacing them with his new ideas, find best performers, then double down on what works. Like this is simply it. So in case you're wondering, okay, what kind of content did I write? What kind of content did we post for this client? This content were particularly perspective shifting, because we wanted to become an authority in his niche, and we don't want to say exactly what everyone else is already saying. It's boring. It's boring. Even if you're not saying how to use content, even if you're saying how you did something and all that. What we did was look into his competitors, look into people in his niche, look into the content they are talking about, look into what they are not diving into, and looking since we've gotten as much information as possible on how he delivers his client's result, There's no way every single person doesn't deliver client's result the exact same way. So using we have to share how he delivers his client's result, the unique things he does, the unique beliefs he has, the unique approaches he uses, and how he's be able to get consistent results for his client. And this drove a lot of attention from people in his niche, positioning him as different and great at his service. Because of the subscription level we are in on Twitter now, it's pretty high. And then people are tired of seeing the same kind of tips, the same kind of ideas every single day. So if it's not different, if it's not new, it's it will really get you new followers because you're just going to be lost among the crowd. So that's what we didn't want to happen, and that's why we did as much research as possible, collected as much information as possible, and posted content that were shifting. So people have we figure out people is target audience have this problem, and then we share how they can solve it, making them feel like wow. So this is what I've not known for a long time. So they were shifting, unique, and making people say wow. Like we could see it in the comment section. And even one of the first posts we made got him a comment from someone who's been watching his YouTube videos that he's been looking up to. And it got him followers who of from it got him follows from people who is always be looking up to, and of course people who look up to him and all that. And this same kind of content, because it was revealing his expertise, so sharing his case studies, we were really leveraging his result. It resulted into inbound leads because people were texting him, oh okay, we currently run a service similar to the content you just posted. Is this something, can you help us with the same thing and all that? No, we have to just say yes, book a call and all that. So this is basically how we get results for most of the client. It all comes down to research, doing proper research, finding what works, then double down on it. So it comes down to research, testing, and doubling down on what works, and positioning the client as different compared to the 100 or 1,000 other people in the niche, so they can stand out, be seen as different, and become an authority in the niche. So the result we got from doing this, because that was our main strategy in getting this client's result, or have that been to other things, but this brought in about 90% of the result. So that's comments on his post from people he looked up to, like I mentioned earlier, follows from personal brands he was looking to emulate, 7 qualified inbound leads, okay, 540 plus new followers, all in 35 days without him writing a single post himself. So I hope you were able to pick a few things from there. I mean, you can, if you're struggling to grow right now and you can afford to hire a ghostwriter, or you're looking to grow your audience, one thing I'd suggest you do is look into your competitors, look into what has worked really well for them, find out why it worked, and how you can replicate it for yourself. Like it's 9 out of 10 times, or let's say 7 out of 10 times, it's going to work out well for you too if you're in the same niche and if your writing is good as well. So if you run an agency, or you're a founder or CEO looking to build your personal brand audience so you can generate leads consistently for your business, and you don't have time to do it, or you have similar problems with this guy, and you're looking to get someone to handle it in place of you without anyone finding out and without you spending more than 1 hour every single week, send me a DM on LinkedIn. And if you'll be watching this on YouTube, I'm probably going to add a link to how you can contact me. So send me a DM, let's work together, and I wish you good luck. You can implement whatever I've shared with you here and get results for yourself as well. Peace.